going to be crossing at least Highway 82 right in this area. So right in that northwestern part of Cherokee County. Again, this is well to the northwest of Tahlequah right now. As we zoom in, you can see, we'll take a look and see, just in case. We're not seeing any evidence that we've got lofted debris with this one either, but that's the strongest circulation that we have right now. That tornado warning is in effect until 12:45. That Mays County, the tornado warning in between these two tornado warnings was indeed allowed to expire at 12:30. We can look in that next tornado warning. It looks like that circulation has moved up across the county. Well, not quite yet. It's still in the northeast corner of Mays County, so we'll be watching that one closely too as it moves toward Langley and toward Pensacola Dam. But that's certainly not as strong as the circulation that we have ongoing to the northwest of Tahlequah right now. So this is passing just to the south of the community of Peggs. Let me put that controller down, and we'll do an updated track on this storm as we continue to watch that. Located just to the northwest of Tahlequah. But Tahlequah, you are all clear, not in any threat from this storm. This will likely light up Peggs, but it looks like that circulation passing just to the south of Peggs toward Lowry by 12:47, Scraper 12:52, Oaks 12:55. There's Twin Oaks at 12:57, and by 1 o'clock, moving up toward Little Kansas in southern parts of Delaware County, right on 412. So as we take a close-in view of this storm, because that's going to be our main tornado threat zone right now, I'll drop that track and you can actually get a little better idea. There's actually video as we come up on where some of that damage was located just to the west of Bixby on Yale and 161st Street South. As we watch that, no, we're not quite there yet. You can see a couple of signs knocked over, but the power lines are intact as we get up closer, driving close to White Hawk golf course there in southern parts of Tulsa County. And you can see just to the south of Peggs right now, there's the circulation. Again, may have broadened out just a tiny bit. It's right on the edge of that little kind of nub sticking out south of Peggs. That's going to be crossing Highway 82. This is 82C that'll take you over toward Lowry and Moody's and eventually toward Highway 10. So that's the danger area that we're watching passing just to the south of Peggs. Again, it's a little blobby looking as we look at reflectivity. We kick over to velocity. That tells us the tail. That tells us exactly where we're seeing and what direction that we're seeing the air moving in the storm. So the strong inbound and outbound, our circulation is just to the south of Peggs, moving across Highway 82 right now, and this is well northwest of Tahlequah. So no worries at all in Tahlequah. We're talking northern parts of Cherokee County, and that indeed is the strongest circulation that we have working right now. Let's take another overview because we're all clear in Tulsa, and as Laura said just a few minutes ago, that tornado watch has been dropped for the Tulsa area. Our danger zone now continues to shift east. It is now east of Highway 69. We've got wall-to-wall severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me track those for you. We'll start with the southern end of this line and track that line as it moves east. It's just about to move into Haskell and Latimer County. And you can see as we take this east at about 40 to 45 miles per hour, that's going to be close to Quinton. In Latimer County, close to Roberts Cave State Park. There's Wilburton at 1242, Kent at 1247, Whitefield, San Bois, 1254, and all the way to Stigler at 1259. I'll clear that. We'll do an updated track a little bit further north on that line from basically Highway 62 down into western Haskell County. And we take this to the northeast, also moving at about 45 miles per hour. There's Huggart at 1237, Porham 1240, Gore at about 1244 right there on I-40 and Highway 64 and 100. Pettit, Cherokee County 1248, Stigler 1251. There's Cookson in Cherokee County and Lake Tenkiller at 1252. And there is Tenkiller, the little community, at least not the lake, at 1256. Vian and Sequoia County at 102. Let's go a little further to the north because we still have severe thunderstorm warnings and our two tornado warned storms. Again, the tornado warned track is going to take that circulation up in the general direction of Little Kansas over the next few minutes. Moody's, Lowry, Scraper, Oaks, Twin Oaks as we get closer to 1 o'clock, and there's Little Kansas right at about 1 o'clock. We'll do a severe thunderstorm warning track 2 on the entire leading edge of that, all the way down into parts of northeastern Muskogee County And as that moves to the northeast, it'll be scooting quickly across Cherokee County with the threat of wind, our number one issue, and some flooding too. Woodall, Moody's, Tahlequah, Shady Grove, you can see that at 1236. Tahlequah at about 1249. There is Scraper, Keys, Little Kansas, and toward Eldon by about 101. Further to the north we go, and we catch the northern edge of this line as it is already moved right past Veneta right now. Still looks like wind is our number one threat. Northern Craig County not in a severe thunderstorm warning with a slightly weaker there. But there's Cleora, Afton, Copeland, Miami, and this is going to be up toward Narcissus as well. There's Turkey Ford and Wyandotte too by about 105, and one more tornado warning track on the storm northeast of Pryor that's just about to move up into and over parts of Grand Lake and up toward Cleora. If this circulation can hold together, we're talking Langley, Ketchum, Cleora, Bernice, and toward Grove right now. Let me take one more quick tour on high-resolution Doppler radar because our circulation now just southeast of Peggs may have taken a little bit more of a left turn here. If that's the case, it may be slowly weakening. Got another report from Grand River Dam Authority reporting some power lines and trees down northwest of Pryor. Maybe the same report from southwest of Adair. So it's kind of in the same general area there. Looking just to the east of Highway 82, that's where the circulation continues to be right here. So we're watching closely Teresita and Liberty. Looks like that circulation may stay just to the north of Moody's right now. We go a little bit further to the north, and the circulation moving up toward Langley, Ketchum, and Spavinaw certainly looks a whole lot weaker. Nothing really jumps out at me with it just at the moment. Looks like maybe between Ketchum and Langley we could be seeing a little bit of that circulation still remaining, but as it moves up toward Thunder Bay Marina, here's Cleora, Terra Miranda Marina, Dennis, Shangri-La Marina. It's got to be passing to the northwest of High Lift and just to the northwest of Grand Lake Town. Close to Ketchum right now, just a little bit weaker. It's just not quite as strong as that circulation was a little bit earlier. Our strongest circulation continues to be crossing Highway 82. Just in northern parts of Cherokee County. Still some pretty bright colors right here as this moves in the general direction of Teresita and toward Liberty right now. So to summarize, our two active tornado warnings that are in effect right now are both due to expire at 12:45. So when that happens, we will rejoin programming unless they are extended, as we'll cover every tornado warning in the viewing area. We don't discriminate on whether you're in a city or a town or a populated county or not. We're going to be on the air for you when there's a tornado warning. All the danger area, though, east now of Highway 69, these two tornado warnings continue in effect for extreme northeastern Mays County, northern Cherokee County, and the southeastern corner of Craig County, although the danger area just about out of that. Let's check in with Fox 23 meteorologist Michael Sager. Michael, we've been at it for a long time today, tracking these storms.
Yeah, we certainly have. Of course, came on the air at 6 o'clock this morning on Fox 23 News this morning, and we were first tracking these storms as they were coming up into southwest Oklahoma and Texas, producing tornadoes as they did as well. And now here they are, as expected, arriving into green country through late morning and now into the early afternoon. And I've kind of zoomed out here. You can see the leading edge of our line and all the tornado warnings and the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in effect right now across eastern Oklahoma. I do want to point out that we are still going to watch to the north and to the west that later this afternoon and this evening there is a chance. Now the atmosphere is going to be worked over. This is really going to stabilize the atmosphere, especially over us in eastern Oklahoma. But there is a chance we could get some redevelopment back here to the north and west, and whatever develops here could work its way into northern portions of green country later on tonight with at least some severe weather potential, but not going to be near as widespread as what we've got ongoing right now. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a tour here. First, we're going to start out to the south, and you can see the heavy rain coming here into Hartshorn and now back into, Wilburton, right on the leading edge of this, and soon to be moving here into Kenta. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect here. We'll track these off to the east, and again, moving, they've been picking up a bit of steam here, and we've seen speeds anywhere from about 40 to 45 miles per hour, so they are not wasting their time. Winds are going to pick up, could gust up to about 60 miles per hour. So those of you here, Red Oak, and here just about ready to move here into Kinta, and again, right around Ludi about 1242. So within the next couple of minutes, Kinta 1246, Red Oak we're looking at 1256, Denman at about 1 o'clock, Tallahena we're looking at about 102, McCurtain at about 108. So again, as this line moves through, winds are going to pick up. You're going to get some heavy rain, so you will want to go inside, find a nice sturdy building to get inside as this line of storms moves through. No tornado warnings here, but still can't rule out perhaps something trying to spin up as we go here into southeastern portions of the region. We'll pan a little bit farther to the north. Let me remove the storm tracks here. We'll pan a little bit farther to the north and take you here now up into parts of Sequoyah County with this line about ready to move here into Sequoyah County, coming out of Muskogee County and McIntosh County. You can see now the leading edge here from Braggs and very close here to Webbers Falls and coming into Warner. We'll do a quick storm track on this, and this is going to come right across the southern portions here of Cherokee County near Cookson. And again, I'll take this back here to near Porham and draw that off to the east. We'll try that one more time here, see if we can get that to draw on there. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Let me try to select it one more time, and maybe third time's the charm. Let's see if we get lucky here. But again, this line is moving off to the east at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. It's not going to do it, so I'll just step back. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, and again, we'll go ahead and draw this on here. There we go. There we go. Sometimes you just got to do things the old-fashioned way, you know. So let's take it here from Cookson to around Stigler here at about 1 o'clock, Marble City about 1:10, and we're looking at Salisaw about 1:18 and Brent at about 1:24. Again, straight line winds are going to be main concern with this, along with heavy rain. Of course, we've had a lot of rain recently, so it won't take much to get those creeks and rivers to come up. So if you come across any high water, remember, do not attempt to cross. We're going to pan a little bit farther to the north. Here's our tornado warnings. So far, have not seen those extended farther to the east. We're going to continue to watch that, but officially these warnings are out for about another 3 minutes. So as James was mentioning, if they are allowed to expire and we do not get any other tornado warnings, we will go back to regular programming. But if these tornado warnings are extended, we will continue to stay on the air with you. But again, there's that line here moving in. I'm going to switch this over to velocity data just to kind of get a look here what we've got ongoing here with the potential of maybe some circulation still working in. But we'll zoom in a little bit tighter here. I know we had that one circulation that was very close here to the area around Langley and Ketchum. And let me pan a little bit farther to the north. And you mentioned it, James, that did make a little bit more of a left turn, almost went due north as it got here close to Ketchum. And you can still see it's really broad, not very strong here, but right around Cleora here as it moves off to the north and to the east. But really not seeing a whole lot. It is a major concern here with that circulation. We'll pan a little bit farther here to the south. And of course, as we pan here a little bit farther to the south, and there's that other circulation here, again, tracking here very near just to the east now of Peggs, and that's moving off to the north and to the east. So we've got video here. This is a video on the left side of your screen near 161st and Harvard. You can see that tree down there, and that's one of the areas where we had that circulation first pop up, James. Again, where that tornado warning was first issued for southern portions of Tulsa County, as that circulation came very close to right around the Bixby area. So again, that is the video here to the left of your screen showing that tree down there right in front of that home. And again, we have seen at times, you know, it doesn't take much with these little spin-ups. You know, they a lot of times don't do significant damage. They can, but most of the time it's going to be damage like you're seeing right here, kind of low-end type tornado damage. If that's what this indeed was, we'll have to wait for the Weather Service to go back and go back and survey to see if that's what indeed caused some of that damage. But still keeping an eye on these tornado warnings. Just have a little bit longer to go here, James, with these tornado warnings. We'll see if they continue, but we still got severe thunderstorms moving across parts of Green Country, something that we've been tracking since very early this morning.
Yeah, take a look right now, because as we've seen just in the last couple of seconds, those tornado warning boxes have dropped. On the left side of your screen, you're seeing damage in South Tulsa County. This is very close to the White Hawk Golf Course. They're right along 151st and Yale. This is a little bit further to the southwest, right where we saw that circulation first start to form. Now, we have also some other pictures of damage around our area, too. And I'm not sure if those are ready yet, Phil, to talk about, but we do have some more damage across parts of eastern Oklahoma to talk about. Some power lines down in northern parts of Maize northern parts of Rogers County and northwestern Mays County as well. And of course, that damage that we're seeing, this video loop just kind of repeat itself of the tree down in the front yard there at 161st and Harvard. So all of our tornado warnings, well, there's a new tornado warning just issued for parts of Haskell County. So we're going to be back with you at least for a while. Let's go down to that tornado warned storm as we look now near 151st and Yale. That's close to Whitehawk. There's the new tornado warning. You can see kind of that nub sticking out of the leading edge of this storm right here. You can see how that leading edge of this line sort of laid back southeast and northwest. That's the orientation these storms have to get to in order to tap into the atmospheric dynamics present to generate that severe weather. So when you get these that are able to kind of tip back and tap into that energy, that's when we can get these quick spin-ups. That tornado-warned storm continues to move toward the east-northeast. We'll take this out at about 40 miles per hour. That's been a pretty consistent motion toward Kenna, San Bois, Lafayette, Panther. There's McCurtain, Iron Bridge by 112. Officially, Stigler is in the polygon, in that tornado-warned polygon. So probably just out of an abundance of caution, need to take your tornado precautions in the community of Stigler right now as we continue to track that storm moving toward the east-northeast. Again, that's going to be very close to Louisville and Kenta right now. So southwestern corner of Haskell County. Let's take another look right into this part of the storm here. Circulation, if we've got one, right along Highway 31, moving into the community of Kenta. It's very close to Louisville, too. There's a community of Louisville right here. As we look at velocity, again, some green showing inbound here, a little bit of red right there. So the circulation kind of right on top of the community of Kenta right now. And that is going to be moving, well, kind of right up towards San Bois. There's Lafayette on Highway 82. And we'll kind of keep Highway 31 on the south edge of this boundary. And as we look, no evidence, as we look at dual pole Doppler radar, that we've got any lofted debris. Now, if we do see dual pole data this far away showing lofted debris, that's actually a pretty significant tornado occurring. So right now, with the level of circulation that this thing had, it doesn't appear that it's a super strong circulation, but we've already seen some damage out of these fairly weak-end tornado circulations from some of these thunderstorms that have moved across the area. So the specifics on this one, continue to track that tornado-warned storm now in parts of Haskell County, and that's in effect until 1:30. Moving to the northeast. The Weather Service going a little slower with that motion, but still looks like it'll be moving to the northeast. But we're tracking any spot we get these thunderstorms leaning back kind of northwest to southeast. That's where we're likely seeing that threat escalate. So this is going to take us right across the center part of Haskell County between Highway 9 and Highway 31. Now, for some good news to talk about, the tornado watch that was in effect until 5 o'clock from Highway 75 west has already been dropped, including the city of Tulsa. So there is no more risk in Tulsa for severe weather out of this episode. Now, there's still a chance this evening, but that's a dwindling chance that we get some showers and thunderstorms that try to form that could become severe a little later this evening. That's a little more likely for our friends in Kansas. But right now, at this point, it certainly looks like our main threat continues to push further and further east away from the metro area and east of Highway 69. Muskogee, you're almost in the clear, even of the heaviest rain. We have one ongoing tornado warning right now. Updated track on that storm as it moves to the northeast across Haskell County. We'll slow it down just a little bit, 35 miles per hour or so. It's very close to the Kenta community right now. There's San Bois, Lafayette, Panther, and McCurtain, keeping that risk area just barely south of the community of Stigler. But we're going to watch that very closely. You can see on the left side of your screen, here's some video from 161st and Harvard. Again, right where that circulation started to form and produce that very original tornado damage. Kind of looks like a shed, an outbuilding or so. Because you could also see the trees around it look like they're okay. And the other barn, the outbuilding there on the left side of it, or the right side of it, is actually looks like it's okay too. So I may have just had a local wind effect over that low-pitched metal roof that did that damage to that outbuilding across parts of southern Tulsa County. So that's right where we saw that circulation originally start forming in that 161st and Harvard area. So it probably put down a tornado very quickly after we talked about that rotation on Fox 23, and then kind of moved to the northeast. No big damage reports that we've seen elsewhere along the path other than some power lines, some tree damage, a couple of areas like this with roof damage on outbuildings so far. But as we continue to watch sections east of this line, that's going to be the spots that we see any tornado warning threat. So right now that's mainly concentrated in Latimer and parts of Haskell County because of the orientation of these thunderstorms. You can also see the leading edge is a little lumpy and bumpy here. Anytime we get some of these kind of, I keep calling them nubs, but anytime we get that forming, that helps concentrate some of that shear and leads to some of these spin ups. Now, as we look at velocities again, it's not a strong indication, but as we've seen from the damage in southern Tulsa County, sometimes we're getting damage out of these that aren't terribly strong yet, so we're not waiting until they reach a much stronger potential. We're just going to go get on these things quick. Northwest of Pryor, the GRDA reporting 5 miles northwest of Pryor, so that could very well be the same report that we talked about just a few minutes ago to the southwest of Adair, so kind of triangulated right in that same spot. But in parts of Latimer County now, we just have that severe thunderstorm warning, but we're going to watch any of these little nubs as they stick out for the potential that they could produce some sort of spin up. The only tornado warning that we have ongoing is for about 35 more minutes. That one through central parts of Haskell County now. And as we go further north along that line, notice that line in general is oriented more straight north and south without a whole lot of spots that are leaned back where they can tap into that atmospheric wind direction change that helps generate some of these spin-ups. So we'll continue to track these thunderstorms as they move east out of our area and into parts of LaFleur County too. Just about to move into Tahlequah with some heavy rain and wind and borderline severe too, but so far we've seen these main circulations drop just a little bit in strength, and the only tornado warning that we've got right now ongoing, Haskell County until 1:30, Michael.
And still watching this line push its way to the east, zoomed out here across the entire state. You can see just a little more to go, and this line will eventually be in the Missouri and Arkansas, and then we will be done with that threat here in eastern Oklahoma. It's not going to take much longer, maybe about another hour or two here for those of you in southeast Oklahoma. But we're still going to have to watch here to the north and to the west. If we can destabilize the atmosphere out in northwest Oklahoma, parts of north central Oklahoma, as this clears to the east, we still may get some redevelopment here across northwest parts of the state that could make a run into northern portions of Green Country by later on tonight with at least some severe potential. Although right now at this line, as widespread as it is, and we've got all this rain still falling here across Tulsa and basically I-35 to the east, atmosphere is really worked over here, so it might be difficult to really get to any recovery here in eastern Oklahoma. So if any storms fire up out in western Oklahoma where it might be a little more unstable, they're going to definitely work into a much less favorable environment for severe weather by later this evening over us, because these storms, they are certainly working over the atmosphere. Let's go back here into parts of northeast Oklahoma here, far northeastern parts of the state. We're over Ottawa County here and Delaware County, and those line of storms are now tracking here into Miami, coming right across Grand Lake and Grove. It is coming down in buckets here as you go into the southwestern parts of Grand Lake and up around Grove, just about ready to come down here in buckets. But severe thunderstorms are concerned here. No tornado warning right now for this part of this line of storms. We did have one earlier that has been allowed to expire. But again, gusty winds, straight line winds up to about 60 miles per hour could be possible. I was checking the Oklahoma Mesonet data, and so far the strongest winds that we've seen have been mostly into the mid-50s. So 58 miles per hour is considered severe. So we've been right about there, borderline severe winds with this line as it has been tracking its way to the east. I'm going to step back here. We'll pan a little bit farther south here along this line here from Jay. We'll go south here down to Highway 412. So this is almost about ready to come here into the community of Little Kansas into around Colcord, West Siloam Springs. So I'm going to do a quick track on this here as it moves off to the east. And again, we're keeping an eye on this, that we could possibly get perhaps a little circulation develop, but right now that is not happening here, at least at the moment, with this portion of the line as it continues to move its way here east. But Tahlequah, boy, coming in right now. Boy, that rain already picking up, especially as you are north and west of Tahlequah. Little Kansas, we're looking at about 104. Cloud Creek at about 105. Colcord at about 111. Christie 117, West Siloam Springs 123, and eventually Siloam Springs, Arkansas at about 126. So again, as this line moves through, the wind is going to pick up, the rain is going to pick up, and watch out for some street flooding as well as this line does move in. Of course, the ground has been saturated with all the rain that we've had so far this spring, so it won't take much to create more flooding concerns. I'll remove that track. We're going to pan a little bit farther here to the south, and I'll actually switch this over to the radar at Fort Smith so we can get a good look here at this possible circulation here right around Kinta as we were looking at earlier. There's our tornado warning here over parts of Haskell County. I'm going to switch this over to velocity data and we'll get a look at this, and we'll zoom in a little bit tighter here into this area where we could see this possible tornado where the circulation earlier was very near Kinta. So let's zoom in a little bit tighter here. And boy, it's not looking too impressive here, but maybe broad circulation here as it's moving off to the north and to the east. So now tracking to the northeast here of Kinta, and this is going to continue to work its way. It's just going to cross here probably Highway 82 south of Stigler. So if you live here along Highway 82 south of Stigler, go ahead and take your tornado precautions now. Do not wait, because even though that circulation does not look quite as strong as it did earlier, it's still there, and it's tracking off to the north and to the east. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to pan this a little bit farther here. I'm going to center this up so we can track this circulation, and I may actually try to zoom out a little bit more. Let's actually pan that back. Let me back that up. That was not supposed to happen there, but let's back this up a little bit. And again, let's see if we can try that again. I grabbed the wrong one there. But again, with this tornado warning, we are certainly concerned that we could get a brief spin up. We've already seen that with what we've had so far. So zooming out here, we'll go up to this tornado warning here over parts of Haskell County. And again, there is that tornado warning. And so again, tracking off to the north and to the east, not quite as fast as it was earlier. But again, still certainly creating a concern here to the south of Stigler. So now let's zoom back in here, and I do want to pull a little bit closer here and do that storm track for you, because I do want to make sure we get to make sure everybody knows that where the timing is on this. And I may be having a few issues here with our tracker, but let's try this one more time. And unfortunately, it grabbed the storm track again. So I'm going to step back here. We're just going to do this the old-fashioned way once again. Let me go ahead and remove that, and let's just zoom in here and get a little closer look right here into this area of circulation to the south here of Stigler. And again, James, this is really, it looks like it has weakened considerably from what it had earlier. Not really seeing much but we'll go ahead and do a quick track here off to the north and to the east, because I do want to make sure that we do track this here as it heads up to around Keota. So again, if this thing would happen to tighten up again and we would get a little concerned of a possible tornado, again, we're looking at Iron Bridge at about 121, basically coming here right near Lafayette right now at about 102, and then Keota at about 125. So still need to take those tornado precautions, but at the moment, really seeing this circulation has weakened considerably from what we had just a moment ago. We'll go back to reflectivity. Now I'll zoom out a little bit here so we can get a look at the entire line as this does move off here to the north. And again, that's still tracking here to the north and to the east. And I may just have to do this by hand again. But again, we'll go back to reflectivity, and we'll zoom out a little bit more here and give you an idea of what this line looks like. We still have that northwest to southeast orientation, so there still could be an area that may try to spin up, but right now that circulation certainly showing signs that it has weakened considerably. But we've got all those severe thunderstorm warnings lined up here from Miami to Grove and Grand Lake all the way into southeast Oklahoma. So anywhere within this line, we could have winds gusting to at least about 60 miles per hour. We've already